beloved chosen one. Stop scrolling for a moment, because heaven has been waiting for you to pause right here. You are not reading these words by coincidence. This is not random timing. This is divine alignment. You have felt it lately, haven't you? That quiet stirring deep inside your soul. The sense that something invisible yet unstoppable has already begun. You can't quite explain it, but you know that life as you knew it is shifting. That is destiny calling your name. Listen carefully. When heaven calls, everything begins to change. The world around you might look the same, but the atmosphere in your spirit has shifted. The places that once brought comfort now feel foreign. The dreams you once chased now feel too small. You are awakening, not to another routine, but to your divine assignment. The seal of heaven has been placed upon your life, and no force on earth can remove it. You've tried to ignore it. You've tried to silence the pull, convincing yourself that maybe it's all in your head. But the call doesn't fade, it grows louder. Because when God marks someone, they can never truly return to what they were before. Every storm you've survived, every tear you've cried, has been shaping the vessel you were meant to become. There were nights you felt alone, like no one understood your pain. You questioned whether your struggles had any meaning. But chosen one, heaven wastes nothing. The sleepless nights, the silent prayers, the tears that no one saw, each of them was a seed. The ground may have looked barren, but beneath the surface, purpose was taking root. You felt the tension between who you were and who you're becoming. It's not confusion, it's transformation. God is stretching you beyond your limits so that you can carry what He's preparing to release into your hands. The shaking you feel is not punishment, it's preparation. Everything false is falling away so truth can stand unshaken within you. This is the moment heaven whispers, remember who you are. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are divinely designed, intentionally placed, and supernaturally sustained. Every breath you take is proof that heaven still has a plan for your life. You are the living proof that purpose cannot die in the storm. Every setback was secretly shaping your strength. You have walked through fire, and yet here you stand refined, not ruined. The same power that raised Christ from the grave is now awakening courage inside you. There's a divine fire building in your spirit, urging you to rise. You've outgrown the version of yourself that settled for less. Heaven is calling you into fullness, into boldness, into the divine authority that was always yours. You are stepping into alignment with eternal destiny. Listen closely. Your story is not over. It's being rewritten in glory. Every scar now shines as testimony. Heaven is preparing to display through your life what persistence and faith can build. The waiting season is ending. The revealing season has begun. Destiny doesn't wait, it calls. And you must answer. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Let that truth settle deep within you. You have never been alone, not once. Even when you couldn't feel His presence, He was walking beside you. When you cried in the dark, He counted every tear. When you stumbled, He carried you. You were being protected from battles you didn't even know existed. That's how deeply loved you are. So, why do you think the enemy fought you so hard? Because he saw your potential long before you did. He saw the crown being forged for your head, and he tried to break you before you could wear it. But what he didn't understand is that you were born for endurance. You were chosen to rise again and again until every prophecy written about your life comes to pass. Chosen one. Heaven is not asking for your perfection, only your surrender. The moment you say, yes, everything begins to shift. Doors that were locked will open. Chains that held you will break. What was once delayed will be delivered. You've been in hiding long enough. The world is about to witness what heaven already knows: you are chosen, and your destiny cannot be denied. If you feel that fire in your spirit right now, if something inside you is saying, "This is for me," then take a prophetic step of agreement. Comment below 777, "I receive my calling." And as you do, like and share this message, not for attention, but for assignment. Someone else needs to be reminded that they, too, cannot run from destiny. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to stay connected to this flow of divine revelation, because your journey has just begun. You've been searching for confirmation. This is it. Heaven has spoken. You can't outrun what was written before time began. The moment heaven called your name, destiny started moving toward you. And now, beloved chosen one, it's your turn to move toward it. You have always felt different, haven't you? Even as a child. You saw the world through eyes that others could not understand. You felt the weight of things unseen, the quiet whisper of something greater hovering over your life, while others blended into the noise of the world. Something in you refused to disappear. That was not arrogance, it was calling. You were marked long before you ever knew the meaning of the word destiny. There's a reason you could never quite fit in. You were not designed to. Heaven carved you from a different mold. You were created with divine fingerprints, woven with intention and purpose that stretches beyond time itself. Every step you've taken, even the missteps, were part of a divine choreography leading you toward this realization: you were chosen before you were born. The truth is, chosen one, destiny doesn't start the day you believe it, starts the day you were conceived. Before your first cry reached the air, heaven already spoke your name. The story of your life began in the mind of God, and no earthly failure has the power to rewrite it. You've walked through storms that tried to silence your purpose, but they couldn't. The evidence is that you're still here, even when you wandered far. Divine mercy shadowed your steps. You were protected in ways you didn't perceive, carried by hands you couldn't see. There were moments when your plans crumbled, and you thought it was punishment, but those were actually divine interruptions, steering you back to the path written for you before time began. Every closed door was a redirection toward purpose, not rejection. You may have wondered why others seem to move ahead while you're stuck waiting. But destiny doesn't rush. What's born of eternity is never early and never late. It manifests in perfect timing. You, beloved, are not behind. You are simply being refined. Heaven doesn't launch what it hasn't yet prepared. There's a sacred patience being developed within you. The kind of patience that only comes from being shaped in secret. God hid you, not to withhold blessings, but to protect your anointing until it was strong enough to carry the weight of His glory. The world may not have seen your struggle, but heaven recorded every moment of it. You have been tested not to prove your weakness, but to reveal your strength. You've asked, "Why me?" But maybe the better question is, why not me? You carry something too valuable to remain unnoticed. There is gold inside of you that only pressure could uncover. The pain you've endured is the refining fire that proves your authenticity. Heaven never wastes fire, it uses it to purify the chosen. The ancient words recorded in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 29, "For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable." So many have tried to define you by your past. They've spoken over you from places of misunderstanding. But heaven doesn't call you by your failures, it calls you by your future. You are not your mistakes. You are the miracle that emerged from them. Every scar is a symbol of survival. Every wound, a testimony of purpose in process. Chosen one. You were not picked at random. You were selected with intention. Before your family knew you. Before the world named you. God Himself whispered your identity into existence. That is why your spirit always resisted the ordinary. You were made to carry divine fire into dark places. The world needs the light you carry. Somewhere. Someone's deliverance is waiting on your obedience. Every time you rise after falling, heaven applauds. Every time you choose faith over fear, your destiny advances another step forward. This is the truth the darkness never wants you to realize. Your very existence is a threat to everything that opposes God's purpose. Take a moment and feel that truth pulse through your heart. You were marked before birth. You were chosen before you ever learned to pray. You are a vessel of divine promise, walking through human experience. And nothing can undo what was spoken over you from eternity. There will be more tests ahead, more seasons that stretch your faith. But now, you walk with awareness. You understand that destiny isn't something to chase, it's something to awaken to. Every hardship, every delay, every hidden year was not wasted. It was divine preparation for the manifestation of what has always been yours. Even when your strength falters, remember, what is born of heaven cannot die on earth. Your calling is eternal, written in the ink of divine sovereignty. The same voice that spoke galaxies into motion has spoken over your life, and that word cannot return void. Breathe in this truth. Let it settle into your bones. You are not behind schedule, and you are not forgotten. You are walking out the exact plan heaven designed before time began. The world will see in due time what heaven already knows. You are chosen, and your destiny has already begun. Everything around you has begun to shake. Hasn't it? The familiar no longer feels safe. The things you once depended on are slipping through your fingers, and the world you built is shifting beneath your feet. But listen, this shaking is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to awaken you. When heaven begins to rearrange the foundations of your life, it is a sign that destiny is near. The ground trembles because something divine is breaking through the surface. You have prayed for change, but change rarely arrives wrapped in comfort. It often comes disguised as loss, transition, or chaos. You see, before God elevates, He exposes. Before He builds, He breaks. The shaking you feel is heaven removing what cannot go with you into your next season. Everything temporary is being stripped away, so only truth remains. You may not understand it now, but one day you will look back and realize that the breaking was a blessing. The people who left, the doors that closed, the dreams that died, all of it was necessary. The ground had to crack so that new roots could grow. You were never meant to build your future on weak foundations. What God is doing in this moment is securing your base so you can carry the weight of destiny without collapse. Do not mistake shaking for abandonment. God has not left you. He is closer than ever. When the earth shakes beneath you, it is because His hands are upon it, reshaping what once stood in your way. The storm is not your enemy. It is your escort into purpose. Every chosen one must walk through seasons like this, where faith becomes the only thing left standing. The Spirit spoke through the letter to the Hebrews. Chapter 12, verse 26. Yet once more I will shake not only the earth but also the heavens. Those words are alive right now in your life. Heaven is shaking everything that is not divine, so that only what is eternal will remain. The relationships not rooted in truth will fall away. The opportunities that were never meant for you will crumble. But what is meant for you, what has your name written in eternity, will stand unshaken. Chosen one. This is the divine separation between who you were and who you are becoming. You can no longer live divided between calling and comfort. The shaking is forcing you to choose. Will you cling to what was or trust what will be? The path of destiny is narrow because it demands surrender. You cannot hold on to both your old life and your new anointing. You've been asking, why does it feel like everything is falling apart? But what if it's not falling apart? What if it's falling into place? Sometimes the only way God can rebuild is by letting the old structure collapse. What looks like destruction is actually divine construction. Every tear, every disappointment, every closed door is part of heaven's blueprint. There is a holy silence that follows the shaking, a moment where it seems like nothing is happening. But that stillness is sacred. It's the pause between endings and beginnings, between what you've lost and what's being prepared. Do not rush this silence. It is in that stillness that God strengthens your roots and restores your vision. When you feel the tremors of uncertainty, remember that you are standing on the promises of a God who cannot fail. The same voice that commanded the earth into being is commanding peace over your spirit right now. You are not being destroyed, you are being defined. In the shaking, you are discovering what is truly yours. You are learning that faith isn't proven when everything is easy. It's proven when the ground gives way and you still choose to stand. Heaven is teaching you stability in motion, courage in confusion, and peace in the storm. Take this moment and breathe deeply. Feel the shifting, not as fear, but as freedom. The weight you feel is not the end, it's the sound of destiny breaking through barriers. You are stepping into a realm where you no longer depend on what's visible, but on what's eternal. And now, I want you to do something simple yet prophetic. Type these 3 words in the comments, I still stand. Write them as a declaration, not a request, because by typing them, you are not just joining a conversation, you are aligning with heaven's proclamation over your life. You are saying to the darkness, to the shaking, to every lie that tried to break you, I am still here, and I still believe. Your declaration becomes a seed. Each word, sown in faith, multiplies into strength. When others read it, they'll feel hope awaken again. That's how light spreads from one chosen soul to another. So stand tall, even as the world trembles. What is collapsing was never meant to contain you. What remains after the shaking is pure, powerful, and permanent. The storm that tried to bury you will become the soil that grows your next season. You are being rebuilt for glory, not ruin. And when the shaking ends, and it will, you will find yourself standing in places you once only dreamed of. The dust will settle, and you will see it clearly. None of this was punishment. It was preparation. There is a war inside you. Chosen one. A quiet battle between what you want and what heaven wills. You feel it in moments of stillness, your spirit reaching for light, while your flesh clings to what's familiar. You love God deeply. Yet something in you hesitates to surrender completely. That tension, that restlessness, is not weakness. It is the sound of destiny wrestling its way to the surface. Every chosen one must face this inner conflict. Before you conquer the outer world, you must first conquer yourself. The mind becomes the battlefield where faith and fear collide, where the voice of heaven meets the whispers of doubt. Some days, it feels like a storm inside your chest. Your heart says, go. But your past says, stay. Yet deep within, a voice keeps rising above the noise. A gentle whisper that will not be silenced. You were made for more. You see, this battle isn't about good versus evil in the world around you. It's about alignment within you. Heaven is calling your spirit to rise higher, but your human nature resists change. You want peace, but growth demands pressure. You want purpose, but purpose demands pain. Every part of you that still clings to comfort will eventually have to yield to calling. And that yielding, that surrender, is where transformation begins. Do not despise this struggle. The fact that you are fighting means you have not given up. It means heaven still has claim over you. The chosen cannot sin peacefully. The world may indulge in compromise and feel nothing, but not you. Your spirit convicts you because it refuses to let you drift away from destiny. You belong to another realm, one where obedience is freedom and surrender is strength. The apostle reminds us in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. This verse has followed you through every moment of hesitation. It reveals that the war within is not a curse but a confirmation. Your willingness to fight this battle is proof that you are not ordinary. You are marked by grace. And grace never leaves you comfortable for long. It keeps pulling you back to the altar of purpose, whispering, "There's more in you, don't stop now." Sometimes, you confuse conviction with condemnation. But understand this conviction is not God's anger, it's His affection. He corrects those He loves. Every moment you feel the sting of conviction, heaven is reminding you of your true identity. God doesn't discipline strangers, He disciplines sons and daughters. And you, beloved, are His child. You may stumble, you may fall, but even in your weakest moments, God's hand never withdraws. His love does not fluctuate with your failures. His calling does not retreat when you hesitate. The war inside you is not evidence of abandonment, it is proof of His pursuit. This battle is refining you. Each time you choose obedience over impulse, you become stronger. Each time you silence fear and step forward in faith, your spirit gains ground. You are learning to discern the voice of heaven above the noise of your emotions. The world shouts, "Do what feels right." Heaven whispers, "Do what is right." That whisper carries the power to change everything. The longer you wrestle, the clearer the truth becomes. Destiny demands discipline. You cannot carry divine purpose with divided loyalty. The habits, relationships, and distractions that once comforted you will begin to feel heavy because they cannot survive where you are going. The narrow road does not allow excess baggage. Do not think of surrender as losing. In truth, surrender is how the chosen win. It's the moment you finally stop fighting the hand that's been trying to guide you. Every yes to God is a key unlocking your next level. Every time you yield, you make room for His power to fill your weakness. You were never called to be perfect, only to be willing. There will come a moment, perhaps soon, when you realize that the battle is no longer about what you're losing, but about what you're gaining. As you let go of the old, peace begins to bloom in the soil of surrender. The resistance fades, and what once felt like chaos becomes clarity. In that moment, you'll look back on the struggle with gratitude. You'll see that the war within was never meant to break you, it was meant to build you. Every tear, every prayer, every night of conflict was heaven reshaping your will to match His. So now, as you stand between surrender and resistance, know this: heaven is not impatient with your process. You are learning obedience through experience. Just as every chosen vessel before you did, you are being trained to carry authority with humility, power with purity, and purpose with peace. The battle within you is holy. It means you still care. It means your spirit still listens. One day soon, the noise will quiet, and what remains will be unshakable faith. You will rise not because the war stopped, but because you finally learned how to fight it the right way. There are moments, chosen one, when heaven sends a signal that cannot be ignored. It might come as a whisper in your spirit, a dream that lingers, a word that pierces your heart like light through a closed curtain. You sense it again now, that divine stirring. What others call coincidence, you recognize as alignment. Heaven is calling your attention because something has shifted. The alarm clock of destiny is ringing. You've been feeling it, haven't you? The gentle pressure in your chest, the quiet urgency that says, it's time. You might not see the full picture yet, but your spirit does. The wind is changing direction. The river of purpose is rising, and your name is being spoken in heavenly places. What used to work no longer satisfies because you've outgrown the old season. God is calling you into movement, into awakening. Think of your life as a garden. Seeds were planted in you long ago, gifts, callings, promises. For years, they rested beneath the soil, unseen and silent. But now the rain is falling, and the ground is breaking open. You feel that pressure because new life is pushing through. It's not destruction, it's birth. The cracking of the shell is proof of growth. The soil of your struggle is making room for the bloom of destiny. But here's the truth: when God begins to move, He doesn't shout, He signals. He speaks through stillness, through timing, through doors opening and others closing. You must learn to sense His movement like a sailor reads the wind. When you ignore the shift, the waters grow restless until you pay attention. That's why you've been uneasy lately, because the current of heaven is changing course. We are reminded through the writings of the Apostle in the letter to the Ephesians. Chapter 5, verse 14. Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. This is not a casual invitation, it's a divine summons. Heaven is saying, wake up. There are assignments waiting. There are lives tied to your obedience. There are doors that will never open until you stand in your rightful position. You are not just waking up from sleep, you are awakening to purpose. Maybe you've hesitated, wondering if you're ready. But readiness doesn't come before the call, it comes through obedience. God doesn't choose the prepared, He prepares the chosen. Every step of faith you take becomes a key unlocking the next level of clarity. The fog lifts as you move forward. Imagine a lighthouse standing on the edge of a stormy sea. Its light cuts through the darkness, guiding ships safely to shore. That's what you are becoming, a beacon. Your life, your words, your presence are light to someone else who's lost in the waves. Don't underestimate the power of your glow. Even if you feel small, in the hands of God, even a spark can start a wildfire. This is why messages like this find you not by the algorithm, but by appointment. Heaven orchestrates these moments to strengthen your flame. And if you feel that warmth stirring in your spirit right now, let it expand. Let it transform into action. When you like, share, or subscribe. It's not about numbers, it's about connection. Every click becomes a ripple in the spiritual current, carrying this word to another soul who desperately needs to hear it. When you pass the message forward, you become part of the movement, an unseen army of light. And if your heart feels led, consider donating, not out of obligation, but as an act of worship. Every seed sown sustains the voice that keeps reminding thousands of chosen ones who they are. It helps the message continue flowing into dark corners where hope has gone silent. Your giving becomes a bridge of light between heaven's truth and someone's midnight hour. Just as rain nourishes the seed it never sees again, your act of generosity reaches further than you know. Heaven measures not the amount, but the heart behind it. When you give, you join heaven in saying, "Let there be light." The call to awaken isn't just spiritual, it's practical. Start paying attention to the small signals, the sudden ideas, the divine coincidences, the quiet sense that something new is being born. Heaven doesn't always send thunder, sometimes it sends a whisper. And those who are truly awake hear it. You were never meant to sleepwalk through life. You were meant to walk in light, to live with purpose, to burn with divine awareness. The alarm of destiny has already sounded. Now is the moment to rise, to shake off the dust, to open your eyes and say, "I'm ready, Lord." Because when you awaken, you don't just change your own story, you light the way for others still trapped in the dark. And that is how heaven's message multiplies through awakened hearts, sharing, giving, and shining together. So let this be your moment of awakening. The signal has been sent. The light is breaking through. Heaven has begun its work, and you, beloved chosen one, are being called to rise with it. There are seasons when everything goes silent. The noise fades, the crowd disappears, and all you're left with is the echo of your own breath. It feels like being lost in a wilderness, no clear path, no familiar voice, no visible sign that God is still near. But chosen one, the wilderness is not your punishment. It is your proving ground. Every prophet, every anointed one, every vessel of destiny has walked through this place. The wilderness is heaven's classroom, where the noise of the world is stripped away so that the voice of God can be heard clearly. It is here that your faith is purified, your motives are revealed, and your endurance is forged. It may look like isolation, but it is divine preparation. When God wants to strengthen a warrior, He doesn't do it in comfort, He does it in silence. The wilderness is where distractions die and discernment is born. You learn to recognize His presence, not by what you feel, but by what you know, because faith that survives in silence becomes unstoppable in sound. You may wonder, why does it feel like no one understands me? Why am I walking this road alone? But remember, the wilderness is never crowded. Heaven doesn't need a crowd to crown you. It needs solitude to shape you. Those who are destined for great impact must first endure great isolation. The higher the calling, the deeper the quiet. Think of Moses, alone on the backside of the desert. Think of David, tending sheep far from the palace he was promised. Think of Jesus, led by the Spirit into the wilderness before stepping into his ministry. Each of them had to walk through silence before they could walk in power. Heaven speaks clearly through the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. Notice this, the Spirit led him there. It wasn't the enemy who guided him into isolation, it was God. That means your wilderness is not accidental. You didn't end up here because you failed. You're here because you're being fortified. The Spirit that called you is the same Spirit sustaining you. In this place, you learn what cannot be learned anywhere else. You learn that worship is not a song, it's a stance. You learn that prayer is not a ritual, it's survival. You learn that when every earthly support collapses, the unseen hand of heaven still holds you upright. That's when you realize you were never truly alone. The wilderness reveals what you really believe. It shows whether you trust God only when He provides, or also when He is silent. It's easy to praise Him in the palace, but it's in the desert that true devotion is born. Every tear you cry here waters the roots of future harvests. You've been asking for power, but power without process would destroy you. The wilderness is where heaven trains you to carry fire without burning yourself. Every test, every trial, every lonely night, it's all shaping your spirit into something unbreakable. Do not despise this season. Instead, start listening differently. God may not speak in thunder, but He's speaking in patterns in the timing, in the people leaving, in the doors closing. He's saying, I'm teaching you to walk by faith, not by sight. When you emerge from this place, you will not be the same. The one who entered the wilderness uncertain will come out unshakable. The one who cried out for answers will walk out carrying authority. This is not the end of your story, it's the hidden chapter that gives power to the rest. And here, in this quiet place, heaven is inviting you to respond, to mark this moment with a sign of faith. If you can feel this word stirring in your spirit, if you know this season describes you, then declare it with your action. Type this number in the comments, 444. Do it not for show, but as a prophetic declaration that even in the wilderness, you trust the one who leads you. Every time you type it, you're saying, I will not fear the silence. I will not doubt the distance. I know my guide is still with me. That number becomes your symbol, a reminder that the path of solitude is still sacred ground. Heaven sees your endurance, your hidden obedience, your quiet faithfulness. You're not forgotten, you're being formed. The silence is temporary, but the strength it's building will last forever. So walk forward, even when you cannot see. Trust that every step you take is heard in heaven. When the time is right, the same Spirit that led you into the wilderness will lead you out with greater clarity, greater fire, and greater power. One day soon, you'll look back and thank God for this season. You'll realize that the wilderness didn't break you, it built you. It was never meant to destroy you, only to prepare you for the moment your name is called again. This time for destiny fulfilled. You have felt it, haven't you? The heaviness that rests upon your shoulders, not the kind the world can see, but the kind that only heaven understands. It's the weight of responsibility, the unseen burden that comes with divine calling. You've tried to explain it to others, but they can't feel what you feel. They see your strength, but they don't know the price you pay to carry what God has placed upon your life. The mantle you bear is invisible to the natural eye, yet it defines every step you take. It shapes how you think, how you love, how you walk through this world. There are days when you want to lay it down, to return to simplicity, to just be, but heaven won't let you. Every time you try to run, the fire inside you stirs again. You can't escape it, because this is who you are. The chosen don't get to choose the calling, they get to choose obedience. Carrying a mantle is not about glory, it's about stewardship. It means saying yes to a mission that may cost you comfort, reputation, and rest. It means walking paths others avoid and trusting God in ways that make no earthly sense. It means being misunderstood, even by those closest to you. And yet, through it all, you keep walking, because deep within your spirit you know you were born for this. You may not feel strong enough, you may doubt your ability to endure, but heaven never places a mantle where there isn't grace to sustain it. The same power that anointed you also upholds you. You were never meant to carry this weight in your own strength. You were meant to carry it with divine assistance. Think of Elijah, wrapping his mantle around Elisha's shoulders, a silent yet eternal gesture that changed everything. A single moment of divine transfer. And suddenly, one man's obedience became another man's destiny. You, too, have been entrusted with something sacred that came before you and will continue after you. Heaven doesn't waste mantles. They are passed through generations, carried by those willing to pay the price of surrender. The Spirit reminds us through the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48. To whom much is given, much will be required. Sometimes, the weight of the mantle feels unbearable. You look at others who seem free, light-hearted, untouched by spiritual responsibility, and you wonder, why me? But those who carry divine assignments cannot live as the unassigned do. You have been marked by eternity, and that mark comes with both privilege and pain. There will be seasons when you feel stretched to your limits, when the call demands more than you think you can give. But in those moments, something holy happens. The mantle begins to merge with your nature. You stop seeing it as a burden and start seeing it as identity. What once felt heavy becomes holy. What once felt like pressure becomes purpose. Carrying the mantle means learning to live in two worlds at once, the visible and the invisible. You feel the tug of heaven while walking among humanity. You must learn to balance compassion with conviction, humility with boldness, gentleness with authority. It's a sacred tension that refines your heart and teaches you how to represent heaven without losing touch with earth. Many will not understand the weight you carry. They will misjudge your silence, your distance, your intensity. But you cannot explain a heavenly assignment to earthly minds. The mantle is not for approval, it's for impact. Every prayer you pray in secret shifts something in the unseen realm. Every time you choose obedience over comfort, heaven moves through you. And though the weight is great, so is the promise. The mantle that now feels heavy will one day be light as air, because it will no longer be carried by your flesh, it will be carried by your spirit, strengthened through surrender. The day will come when you realize that every tear, every burden, every lonely road was necessary to prepare you for the authority you now walk in. The mantle does not just rest on you, it works through you. It transforms your presence into an instrument of peace, your words into rivers of life, your very being into a vessel of divine order. You will speak, and things will shift. You will pray, and storms will calm, not because of you, but because of what you carry. So, when the nights feel long and the weight feels impossible, remember this: the mantle you bear is evidence that heaven trusts you. It is proof that God saw something in you worth refining, worth stretching, worth using. You may not always feel qualified, but grace qualifies those who refuse to quit. Chosen one, do not fear the weight, embrace it. The mantle that feels heavy today will one day become the wings that lift you higher. And when that day comes, you will understand this was never about the burden. It was about the becoming. There is a voice that will not leave you. It follows you into quiet rooms and lingers in moments when the world falls silent. Sometimes it sounds like a whisper, sometimes like a pulse beneath your ribs. But it is always there, steady, patient, relentless. You have tried to drown it out with distractions, with noise, with motion, yet it always returns. It is the voice of destiny, the same one that spoke your name before time began. You can ignore many things in life, but not that voice. It is not the sound of guilt or fear, it is the language of remembrance. It reminds you of who you truly are, even when you've forgotten, even when you've fallen. It calls you back to purpose. That's why certain words pierce you more deeply than others, why certain moments feel divinely timed. Heaven speaks your language fluently, it knows how to reach you. Sometimes, that voice sounds like conviction, other times like comfort. It doesn't always speak loudly because it doesn't need to. You are tuned to it, even when you pretend not to be. When you drift too far from alignment, it grows louder. When you draw near, it becomes gentle again. This is the conversation between Creator and creation, an eternal dialogue that cannot be silenced. You may think you've lost connection, but you haven't. You are still on heaven's frequency. You just need to turn down the noise. Every chosen one must learn this sacred art of listening. The voice doesn't compete for attention, it waits for stillness. When you quiet your fears and silence your doubts, you'll find that God was never far. He was simply speaking in a tone only peace can hear. It is written in the book of John, chapter 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." That verse holds the secret to your survival in this season. The proof that you belong to Him is not in perfection but in recognition. You know His voice. You may wander, but when He calls, something inside you responds. Even when you can't explain why you turn left instead of right, why you pause instead of rush, it's because the shepherd is guiding you through instincts refined by heaven. The world calls it intuition, but you know it's revelation. That subtle nudge that says, "Don't go there," or "Call them now," or "Wait." Those aren't random thoughts. They're divine signals disguised as simplicity. The chosen are trained by whispers, not by shouts. God doesn't need to prove his presence with lightning when your spirit already recognizes his touch. There have been times you questioned whether you were truly hearing God. You wondered if it was just your imagination. But the proof is in the fruit. Every time you obeyed that still, small voice, peace followed. Every time you resisted it, chaos came. Heaven leaves fingerprints wherever it moves. You just have to look closely. Sometimes, his voice doesn't lead you where you want to go. It leads you into discomfort, into decisions that stretch your trust. But every path he calls you down has purpose. The unfamiliar route often carries the richest revelation. You will never discover divine depth while walking only familiar ground. When you hesitate to obey, remember this: the voice of God is not a threat, it is an invitation. It doesn't speak to control you, it speaks to complete you. Each word he gives is a doorway to transformation. When he calls you to forgive, it's not to burden you, but to free you. When he calls you to let go, it's not to leave you empty, but to make room for new glory. That is the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing happens in the ears, listening happens in the soul. Heaven doesn't just want to be heard, it wants to be understood. The more you learn to listen, the more clearly you'll recognize divine timing. You'll start to notice that nothing is random. Every delay, every encounter, every closed door carries a message. There will come a day when you realize that the voice you've been hearing all along is not chasing you from the outside, it's resonating from within. The Spirit of God doesn't just visit, it dwells. You are the temple. The same voice that spoke creation into being now speaks through your spirit, whispering reminders of divine identity. You do not need thunder to confirm his presence anymore. You only need stillness. The whisper that once startled you will become the rhythm that guides you. It will lead you through shadows and into light, through confusion and into clarity. And one day, you'll look back and realize that this voice, gentle, steady, unshakable, has been your anchor all along. It was never trying to control your life, it was trying to save it. Every wait, every not yet, every redirection was not rejection, it was protection. So, quiet your soul, lean in again, listen not with your ears but with your heart. That voice that will not let you go, that is heaven's hand, pulling you toward everything you were created to become. Every breaking has a purpose. The world tells you to avoid pain, to run from loss, to hide from failure. But heaven knows something the world forgets. Transformation requires breaking. Before God multiplies anything, he first breaks it. Before he lifts you, he allows you to be pressed. It is not cruelty, it is creation. The breaking before the rising is the pattern of every chosen life. You may look at your story and see nothing but fragments, relationships shattered, dreams that fell apart, seasons that ended too soon. Yet those fragments are not waste, they are ingredients. Heaven doesn't throw away broken pieces, it rebuilds them into testimonies. What feels like ruin to you is often the raw material of resurrection. You've prayed for new beginnings, but beginnings rarely arrive dressed in beauty. They come disguised as endings. The loss you mourn may actually be the release you needed. The door that closed was not rejection, it was redirection. Sometimes God must empty your hands before he fills them again. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every disappointment is shaping you into someone who can carry greater glory. When God allows something to break, It is because He intends to rebuild it stronger. What the enemy meant for harm becomes the very tool heaven uses to elevate you. We are reminded through the Gospel of John, chapter 12, verse 24. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone, but if it dies, it bears much fruit. The seed must break before it blooms. It must be buried before it can grow. That's why this season has felt like darkness, because the soil of destiny always looks like the grave before it looks like growth. You've been planted, not buried. The difference is what comes next. The buried stay hidden, the planted rise again. Right now, you are in the in-between, the sacred space between breaking and blooming. It's uncomfortable, uncertain, and holy. The pain you feel is not the end. It's the sound of your purpose stretching, your spirit expanding. What was once enough no longer fits because you are outgrowing your old identity. The world doesn't understand how the chosen can praise in pain, how you can worship with tears in your eyes. But that's the mystery of divine breaking. It doesn't destroy your faith, it deepens it. Every time your heart cracked open, more light entered. Every wound became a window for heaven's glory. You are not breaking down, you are breaking open. And maybe that's why you're reading this right now. Heaven knew you needed to hear that this breaking is not random. It's timed. It's sacred. Every pressure you've felt is measured by mercy. The breaking is heaven's way of removing what you were never meant to carry into your next season. Think of gold refined in fire. It loses impurities but never its worth. That's what God is doing with you. He's burning away the fear, pride, and pain that once limited you. The fire doesn't define gold, it reveals it. In the same way, your trials are not your identity, they're your refinement. Chosen one, you may not see it yet. But something powerful is rising from this breaking. The ashes are becoming armor. The pain is becoming purpose. And the tears are becoming oil for your anointing. The very thing that tried to destroy you will one day be the story that delivers others. So, don't rush this process. Don't curse the ground where you've been planted. Instead, trust the timing of heaven. Growth is often invisible before it's undeniable. You may feel buried now, but soon you will break through the soil stronger, rooted, radiant. And now, I want you to take a prophetic moment of agreement. If this word touches the deepest parts of your heart, if you feel like something inside you is being reborn, declare it below. Type these words in the comments. I rise again. Say it not as a wish, but as a witness. When you write it, you are not typing a sentence. You are signing a covenant. You are saying to heaven and to your own soul, this breaking will not end me. It will birth me. Every time you declare it, you're aligning your pain with purpose, your sorrow with strength. Let this be your reminder. Resurrection always follows crucifixion. Nothing in God's hands stays broken forever. Every shattered dream, every wounded heart, every lonely season, it all finds redemption in time. You are walking through fire, but you will emerge as gold. You are stepping out of ashes, carrying oil that will heal others. And when that moment comes, when you rise again, you will look back on this chapter and realize that the breaking was never about loss. It was about liberation. Heaven wasn't taking something from you, it was making room for something greater. So, hold your head high. The ground that once felt like your grave is about to become your garden. The same soil that buried you will now feed your roots. And from this breaking, beauty will bloom. There are moments in life when time itself seems to pause. You can feel it in the air, the sacred stillness before a divine shift. The waiting has been long, the prayers unending, the battles relentless. Yet something inside you whispers, "It's here." You may not see the full picture yet, but your spirit knows heaven's timing has arrived. Delay was never denial. Every waiting season has been sacred ground, preparing you for what you are about to receive. The prayers that once felt unanswered were not ignored. They were gathering strength, waiting for divine alignment. What took years to form is now ready to unfold. The clock of destiny has struck your appointed hour. You've been walking through dark valleys, feeling like nothing would change. But listen, dawn doesn't announce itself with noise. It arrives quietly, faithfully, breaking darkness with light one breath at a time. The same is happening in your life. The light you've been waiting for is already rising. The new season doesn't begin with a shout, it begins with a shift. Just as a seed splits before sprouting, your past season had to crack to make room for growth. The pressure, the tears, the silence, all of it was loosening the soil around your destiny. Now, the roots of your faith are reaching deeper, anchoring you for the fruit that's about to appear. You are like the horizon at dawn. What looks still is secretly bursting with movement. Every prayer, every moment of hope, every act of endurance has painted new colors across your sky. The night did not win. It was only preparing the contrast so that the brilliance of your sunrise could not be ignored. Heaven declares through the words of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not delay." These words are not just prophecy, they are promise. They mean that what God spoke over you cannot expire. Destiny doesn't forget, it waits for maturity. You are now stepping into the divine, now the moment where what was spoken becomes what is seen. Think of a fruit tree. For years, its roots grow unseen, digging deeper while nothing visible happens above the ground. Then suddenly, one morning, blossoms appear. That's you. Right now, what seemed dormant is about to bloom. You didn't lose time, you were gaining depth. The hidden years were not wasted, they were making you strong enough to carry what's coming. You may still see some shadows of the old season, but don't mistake the fading night for failure. It's simply transition. The winds are shifting in your favor. Heaven's calendar has flipped, and your name is written on this page. This is not the time to give up, it's the time to lean in. Every act of faith, every small obedience matters now, and in this moment, there is a gentle invitation to be part of something larger than yourself. When you like, share, or subscribe. It may seem simple, but in Heaven's eyes, it's significant. Every action sends ripples through the unseen, carrying this message to those still wandering in darkness. Your engagement becomes a lighted path for another weary soul who needs the same reminder you just received, that divine timing is real. And it's unfolding now. And if your heart feels stirred to donate, do it as an act of gratitude, not obligation. Think of it as sowing a seed into fertile ground. When a farmer plants, he doesn't see the harvest immediately, but he trusts the soil. Your giving works the same way. It sustains this voice of hope. ensuring that the message of faith, strength, and destiny continues to reach those who feel forgotten. Every contribution, no matter the size, becomes part of a chain reaction of grace. The truth is, we're not building a brand, we're building bridges between heaven and hearts. And when you give, you become a part of that divine construction. You help spread light into corners where despair has settled too long. Your support is like water to a growing tree. It keeps the roots alive, nourished, expanding, and in time, the fruit that grows from this tree will feed multitudes. You may never meet the lives your seed touches, but heaven records every act of generosity, every click, every share. Every gift is a form of worship when done from a pure heart. Let the metaphors of your life remind you, you are both seed and sower, both vessel and voice. When you give light, you multiply it. When you extend your hand, heaven extends through you. As this new season dawns, look around and notice the subtle signs. Doors that were once closed are creaking open. People you lost contact with are resurfacing for divine purpose. Opportunities that were delayed are finding their way back to you. It's not coincidence, it's synchronization. Heaven is arranging the details, aligning the timing, and positioning you exactly where you need to be. You've waited long enough, prayed long enough, endured long enough. The season of delay has fulfilled its purpose. You are now stepping into what was always yours. So, breathe deeply. Feel the rhythm of grace in this moment. Everything that once seemed out of reach is being drawn toward you. The heavens are not silent anymore, they are echoing your name. What was spoken in prophecy is now manifesting in reality. You don't have to chase what's already yours, you only have to be ready to receive it. The waiting was the hardest part, but it was also the holiest. It shaped your heart to handle the harvest. Chosen one, your appointed time is now. The vision is unfolding. The delay has expired. Step forward in peace, in faith, and in gratitude, for heaven's clock has struck in your favor. All across the earth, something is stirring. It's subtle, yet powerful, like wind moving through dry bones, like a quiet hum beneath creation's surface. Those who are attuned to the Spirit can feel it. Heaven is gathering its remnant. The scattered chosen are awakening, drawn together not by geography, but by purpose. You are not alone in this call. The same divine frequency that has been stirring your soul is echoing in hearts across nations. This is the mystery of the remnant. They are hidden until the appointed time. While the world chases noise and fame, heaven works in silence, preparing its warriors in caves, deserts, and secret places. These are the ones the world overlooked, the ones who learned faith in obscurity, the ones who carry a flame that cannot be extinguished by rejection or delay. They are the intercessors, the builders, the restorers, ordinary in appearance, extraordinary in assignment. You are part of them. You felt that pull, that deep recognition when you encounter another who carries the same fire. It's as if your spirits nod in silent understanding. There is no need for introductions because heaven already knows your names. This connection is not born of chance, it is orchestrated by divine timing. When the appointed moment comes, the scattered sparks unite, and suddenly the world sees light where there was only shadow. We are reminded through the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, There am I among them. In this season, heaven is weaving destinies together like threads in a tapestry. You may not yet see the full pattern, but every divine connection is intentional. The people entering your life now are not random, they are keys. Some will unlock healing, others will ignite courage, and a few will simply walk beside you so that your faith does not fade in the waiting. Every remnant movement begins with recognition. You will know them not by appearance, but by spirit. When you speak, they will understand. When you worship, they will feel it. When you pray, they will join you without needing an explanation. That's how heaven confirms connection through resonance. This gathering is not about creating a new crowd, it's about restoring divine order. The world gathers for entertainment, heaven gathers for empowerment. The purpose is not popularity, but preparation. The remnant is being equipped for what is coming, a great unveiling. A divine movement that will awaken hearts on a scale unseen before. Chosen one, your loneliness was never punishment, it was preparation for community. The years of silence trained you to hear heaven before hearing people. Now, that same sensitivity will allow you to recognize those who carry the same flame. You will feel them before you find them. Imagine embers scattered across a cold landscape. Alone, they flicker. Together, they become a wildfire. That is what heaven is doing, bringing the embers together. You, who once thought your light was small, will soon realize that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The remnant rises, not in pride, but in unity, and their collective flame pierces darkness that once seemed unbreakable. You may not understand the timing or the why of every connection, but trust the process. Every divine relationship has purpose, whether it lasts a season or a lifetime. Some will challenge you, others will comfort you, and all will sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron, and heaven never joins two lives without divine intent. The gathering of the remnant is not a movement that can be contained in buildings or institutions. It happens in homes, in fields, online, in quiet prayer rooms. It happens wherever hungry hearts meet truth. It's not about platforms, it's about presence. When heaven gathers, geography becomes irrelevant, only obedience matters. You are being positioned strategically. What once felt like isolation was actually relocation. Heaven was aligning you, moving you into proximity with those who would walk beside you in this next wave. You were not overlooked, you were being assigned. And as the remnant awakens, so does power. When unity replaces competition, when humility replaces pride, when love becomes louder than fear, then heaven moves without resistance. The atmosphere shifts, miracles multiply, and darkness retreats. That's why you've been called to walk in purity of heart. The power that's coming will rest only on those who understand stewardship over status. This is your reminder you are part of something eternal. The same spirit that hovered over creation now breathes through this generation, gathering the hidden ones who will carry light into places no institution can reach. You are one of them, set apart, refined, awakened for such a time as this. Soon, you will see it, the gathering of hearts, the merging of voices, the rising of those who once felt forgotten. Together, they will stand not for fame, not for recognition, but for truth. And when they do, the world will know that heaven's remnant has awakened. You are not alone. You never were. You were simply waiting for the sound of others rising. And now, that sound is everywhere, growing, echoing, strengthening. The remnant is gathering, and you are right where you're meant to be. Fire has followed you. Chosen one, not the kind that destroys, but the kind that purifies. You have walked through heat so fierce that others thought you would not survive. Yet here you stand still, burning, but not consumed. The flames that were meant to break you have only revealed what cannot be burned: your faith, your purpose, your spirit. Every chosen one must pass through fire. It is the divine process of separation, removing what is temporary so that what is eternal can remain. The fire doesn't come to destroy. It comes to distinguish. It identifies who truly belongs to God. The same heat that melts wax hardens clay. The difference is in the material. And you, beloved, were never made of something that melts. There have been seasons where you cried out, "Why me?" You felt like everything was being stripped away, friends. Opportunities, comfort. But that wasn't loss, it was refining. Heaven was burning away imitation strength so that authentic power could emerge. The fire reveals what foundation you're standing on, what can't survive. The heat wasn't meant to carry your future. Heaven reminds us through the words of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 29, "Is not my word like fire, declares the Lord, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? The fire of his word burns." Yes, but it also builds. Every time you've been confronted by truth that cut deep, it wasn't to harm you, it was to heal you. The flame of conviction clears away the fog of confusion until only clarity remains. That's what you've been feeling lately, that pull between comfort and calling, between safety and surrender. It's the fire of purpose refining your life. There's beauty in this process, even when it feels unbearable. Fire doesn't ask permission, it simply transforms. The pain that once felt like punishment will soon reveal itself as purification. The fire doesn't come to take what's yours, it comes to remove what's hiding it. Underneath the ashes, there's gold. You've noticed how things that once satisfied you now feel empty. That's because the flame has changed your appetite. You can no longer feed on what's hollow. Your spirit craves what's holy. You're being elevated to a new frequency of purpose. And the fire is your preparation for it. You might look at others who seem untouched, who live in ease, and wonder why your path has been marked by flame. But what they don't know is that oil only flows from olives that have been pressed, and glory only rests on hearts that have been refined. The fire you endure now will soon become the light that guides others. You are not being burned away, you are being branded by heaven. The marks left by the fire are not scars, they are seals of authenticity. When people look at you, they will not just see survival, they will see the reflection of something divine. That's the power of those who walk through fire and come out shining. And in this moment, as the flames of transformation rise around you, I want you to do something symbolic. If this word resonates within you, if you can feel that inner fire stirring stronger than before, type this number in the comments: 333. Do it as a prophetic act, a spiritual acknowledgement that you understand what this season is doing inside you. Every time you type 333, you're declaring, I embrace the fire. I am being refined, not destroyed. It's your way of saying that the process will not make you bitter, but brighter. Because here's the truth: once you've been through the fire, You no longer fear it. You understand its language. You know how to stand in heat and still radiate peace. You become the kind of person who carries warmth wherever you go. You become a walking reminder that God turns flames into foundations. Every great purpose requires fire. It separates the genuine from the counterfeit, the temporary from the eternal. That's why your heart feels heavier lately, because heaven is molding it to withstand greater glory. The more intense the heat, the greater the anointing being prepared. The season you're in right now is not the end, it's ignition. The fire is your teacher, your purifier, your confirmation that God has not finished with you. It's revealing what's real, burning away what's false, and preparing you to carry more of His presence than ever before. When the fire finally settles, what will remain is unshakable. You will emerge glowing with peace, clothed in authority, moving with clarity. The world will not recognize you, not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally become who you were meant to be. So stand still in the flame. Don't resist the refining. Let it finish its work. For soon, what once felt like suffering will look like sanctification. The fire that tested you will become the testimony that lights others out of their own darkness. Chosen one, the fire cannot destroy what heaven has designed. You are proof that what endures the flame becomes the light. You've been fighting longer than most know. The battles you face are not always visible. They're fought in the silence of your mind, in the unseen places of your spirit where courage and fear meet. Every day, you rise and keep going, even when no one applauds. That persistence, that invisible strength, is what separates the chosen from the called. You've carried your sword quietly, but heaven has taken notice. The journey of the chosen is never simple. It's filled with unseen wars, internal tests, and invisible victories. Every battle has been building something inside you: fortitude, discernment, and faith that refuses to break. You've been wielding a sword forged in prayer, sharpened in tears, and strengthened by waiting. It's a weapon few understand, because it was never meant to be for show, it was meant for purpose. There is power in your pain. Every wound you've endured has taught you how to fight with compassion instead of anger, with faith instead of fear. The enemy's goal was never just to wound you, it was to make you put your sword down. But you didn't. You kept swinging, even when your hands trembled. That's why heaven calls you not just survivor, but warrior. The Spirit reminds us through the first letter to Timothy, chapter 6, verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called. That verse isn't about violence, it's about perseverance. To fight the good fight means to keep believing when belief feels heavy, to stand tall when your knees want to give way, to love even when you've been betrayed. The good fight isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's fought in prayer, in patience, and in quiet obedience. You've had seasons where you felt like giving up. The sword of faith felt too heavy, the armor too tight, the battlefield too loud. But what you didn't see was heaven standing with you. Angels surrounded you while you fought in tears. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion was ammunition that shifted the battle. You never fought alone, even when you thought you did. You've carried wounds that still ache. But they are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you survived encounters that others didn't. Each scar tells a story, and together They form a map of your resilience. The scars on your heart are not ugly. They are sacred markings of a soul that refused to surrender. In this war between surrender and perseverance, between breaking and believing, something powerful has been happening. Your sword and your crown are being forged in the same fire. The trials that tested you are also preparing you. The same moments that broke you are the ones that are now building you. That's the mystery of divine battle. It refines even as it rages. You've learned that victory isn't always loud. Sometimes it's simply getting up again after falling. Sometimes it's forgiving one more time. Sometimes it's choosing peace over pride. Heaven sees these quiet victories and calls them mighty. The good fight isn't measured by applause, it's measured by endurance. And while you've been fighting, heaven has been crafting your crown. You may not see it, but every act of faith adds another gem. Every battle endured adds another layer of glory. Your trials have been the forge where your authority is shaped. When this season ends, you won't just emerge free, you'll emerge royal. The sword and the crown belong together. The sword teaches you to stand. The crown reminds you why. The sword is for war. The crown is for purpose. One without the other is incomplete. That's why your battles have been so personal, because your calling is powerful. Only those who learn to fight with faith can wear authority with humility. Remember this, a true warrior doesn't seek battles. But when the battle finds them, they don't run. You faced storms that would have silenced others, but you learned to sing in the rain. You've been surrounded by darkness, but you carried your own flame. You've been knocked down, but never out. And because of that, heaven is entrusting you with new strength, new wisdom, new territory. There is a shift coming, a transition from fighting for survival to fighting for souls. From defending your peace to extending it. You will move from wounded warrior to crowned conqueror, from hidden vessel to revealed leader. Your scars will become your sermon, and your sword will become a symbol of faith that endures. So, hold your head high, even in battle. The very wars that once drained you are now defining you. You are not just surviving, you are reigning. You are walking proof that victory doesn't always come with ease, but it always comes with purpose. And when the dust of this war settles, you will see what heaven has been building all along, a warrior crowned in grace. Standing tall, not because of might, but because of mercy. You will hold both sword and crown, not as trophies, but as testaments of faith that never surrendered. The fight was necessary to reveal the royalty within you. And now, you carry both the sword that defends truth and the crown that declares victory. You have fought well, and the heavens know your name. There are moments when everything suddenly makes sense, not in a flash of lightning, but in a quiet unfolding. It happens after the storms, after the waiting, after the tears that once blurred your vision. Slowly, the pieces of your life begin to fit together, and what once seemed random now reveals itself as divine design. This is the revelation of purpose. It is the moment when heaven's handwriting on your story becomes legible. You look back and realize that the things that once broke you were actually guiding you. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was protection. Every heartbreak was redirection. Nothing was wasted. The pain that once made no sense is now the very proof of God's intentionality. What you thought was chaos was actually choreography. Heaven has been writing a masterpiece with the ink of your endurance. At last, You understand why certain prayers went unanswered. They weren't ignored, they were intercepted. God never said no to punish you. He said, "Not yet," to prepare you. There were places your spirit was ready for, but your character wasn't. So he waited. And in that waiting, he refined you until your purpose could rest safely in your hands. We are reminded through the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose." That verse is not a cliche, it is a code. All things includes the good, the bad, and the broken. It means that heaven uses even the pain you didn't choose to bring you into the promise you were born for. The very stones that tripped you became the foundation beneath your feet. Every wrong turn led you right where you were meant to be. Think of a tapestry from the underside. The threads look tangled, chaotic, without pattern. But when you turn it over, you see the image, the beauty hidden in the mess. That's your life. Chosen one, you've been looking at the underside, the tangled moments, the confusing seasons. But now, heaven is turning it over. The design is emerging, and it's glorious. There's peace that comes with understanding. You stop fighting what once frustrated you. You stop questioning every detail. You begin to see how divine timing wove through every chapter of your story. Even your weaknesses had purpose. They kept you dependent on grace. Even your waiting was a gift. It gave you roots before wings. Purpose is not discovered in ease, but in endurance. The revelation doesn't arrive when everything is perfect. It arrives when you've been tested enough to appreciate it. You are standing in that sacred space now, the place where understanding begins to replace confusion. Heaven has been aligning your steps even when you thought you were wandering. Remember when you prayed for strength? That's when the storms came. Remember when you asked for faith? That's when delays arrived. God answered your prayers not by giving you what you asked for, but by shaping you into someone who could carry it. The answers didn't come to your comfort, they came to your calling. Every moment of pain was preparation for purpose. The heartbreak taught you compassion. The betrayal taught you discernment. The waiting taught you patience. The silence taught you trust. Heaven wastes nothing. Even your mistakes became messages once mercy touched them. This revelation changes the way you see everything. You no longer look at your scars with shame. You see them as signatures of grace. You no longer resent the pruning seasons. You recognize them as divine editing God, removing what could not remain. The more you understand this, the more gratitude replaces grief. Purpose doesn't erase pain, but it redeems it. It gives meaning to the nights you thought you wouldn't survive. It turns your story into a testimony that carries healing for others. What once hurt you now helps someone else find hope. That's the power of divine revelation. It multiplies beyond you. When you see the pattern, you stop living from reaction and start living from revelation. You realize that destiny is not a destination. It's a rhythm, a divine synchronization between your obedience and God's timing. You no longer chase meaning, you carry it. And now, every step you take feels different. The ground beneath you doesn't just hold you, it honors you. You are walking on paths carved by providence. The uncertainty that once terrified you now feels sacred, because you trust the hand guiding you through it. Chosen one, you have reached the moment where hindsight becomes holy. What once felt like breaking now feels like birthing. What once looked like loss now shines as liberation. The threads are aligned, the picture revealed, and you can finally exhale. Everything you've endured had purpose. Every detour was direction. Every silence was set up. Heaven's design has never failed, and neither have you. The story isn't just making sense, it's making beauty. There is a moment when a warrior is no longer training, but standing at the threshold of deployment. You can feel that moment approaching. Chosen one. It's the sense that all the pain, the patience, the persistence, everything you've endured is leading somewhere greater. Heaven is calling you forward, not as a student now, but as a sent one. You are being commissioned for divine purpose. This is what it means to be sent. It's not about fame or recognition. It's about obedience, the quiet yes that changes everything. You have been tested in private so you can stand in public with integrity. You've been refined in silence so that when you speak, your words carry weight. Every hidden battle, every lonely night, every unanswered question has prepared you for this moment, the great commissioning. Think of a soldier receiving orders before dawn. The camp is still, the air electric. There's a mix of fear and excitement, of surrender and readiness. That's you right now. Heaven's orders are clear. It's time to rise, to walk into the very places you once feared, carrying light into the world's shadows. As it is written in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 19, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." This isn't just instruction, it's inheritance. You've been entrusted with heaven's message. You carry something that can shift atmospheres, heal hearts, and awaken souls. But remember, divine assignment is never carried out alone. Heaven walks beside you, within you, and through you. What you hold inside is not small. It's a fire waiting to spread, a river ready to flow, and one spark, one drop, can change everything. Maybe you doubt your voice, thinking it's too small to make an impact, but the ocean is made of drops, and wildfires begin with a single ember. You are that ember, placed intentionally where your light is needed most. This is the season where your obedience will unlock other people's miracles. Your words will become water for dry hearts. Your story will become shelter for those still wandering in the storm. That's why you were chosen, not to be admired, but to be available. Heaven doesn't search for the perfect, it searches for the willing. And while you read this, you can feel the stirring again, the same divine pulse that's been echoing through every section of this message. It's heaven reminding you, you are not meant to sit on this calling, you are meant to move with it. That's why I ask you, from a place of pure sincerity, if these words have touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe, not for applause, not for metrics, but because when you do, you amplify light. Every click, every share, is like throwing another log onto the fire. Together, we keep the flame alive so that those still lost in the dark can see the way home. And if you feel led to donate, let it come from a heart of gratitude, not obligation. Think of it as breathing back into the very voice that spoke life into you, just as a river gives to the sea. Your gift becomes part of something larger, a flow of grace that reaches far beyond what you can see. You are not just supporting content, you are sustaining a calling. Every seed you sow becomes a bridge of light for another weary traveler. When you give, you're not losing, you're multiplying. You're joining heaven in saying, "Let the message go further." You're extending hope into corners where despair has settled. Your generosity becomes the wind beneath this voice, allowing it to reach nations, hearts, and homes where faith has gone silent. Think of this as a garden. Each word planted here is a seed. Some will bloom today, others years from now, but the act of sharing, supporting, and sowing ensures the garden keeps growing. You are part of that growth, your presence, your prayers, your partnership. And when you comment below, leave a mark of your agreement. Write something simple, something honest from your heart, a reflection, a prayer, a moment of gratitude. Because when your words appear here, they do more than fill space. They create atmosphere. Someone scrolling may read your comment and find courage again. You become part of the message itself. Every action you take from this moment, whether it's a share, a like, a word, or a gift, becomes part of your own commissioning. You're not just a listener, you're a messenger. The same fire that's burning in you is meant to ignite others. The Great Commissioning isn't just about spreading words, it's about spreading light. And that light shines brightest when it flows through many hearts as one. So take what you've received and let it live through you. Be the voice of calm in chaos, the hope in hardship, the truth in confusion. Heaven has signed your orders. The mantle is on your shoulders. The message in your heart. The power in your hands. Go forward with courage, humility, and love, because this, chosen one, is the hour you were prepared for. You can feel it now, the calm after the storms, the stillness after the war. It's not silence, it's peace. The kind that comes when you've stopped running and started resting in who you are. For the first time in a long time, you are no longer hiding from destiny. You are walking in it. The fear that once controlled you has lost its grip. The uncertainty that used to cloud your mind now feels like a distant echo. You've been through the shaking, the breaking, the refining, and the fire. Each chapter has carved something new into your soul. You are not who you were, and you will never be that version again. What remains is stronger, purer, and braver. This is the return of the fearless. It doesn't mean you no longer feel fear. It means you've learned that courage is greater. Fear no longer dictates your choices because faith has taken its rightful place. You have faced storms that should have shattered you, but instead, they shaped you. Every battle left behind a layer of wisdom, a crown of calm authority. You've stopped needing approval from others because you've found assurance in heaven's voice. The same voice that once whispered, "Wait," now declares, "Go." You no longer seek validation from the crowd. You seek alignment with the cloud, the presence of God that guides you step by step. You walk differently now, not rushed, not desperate, but deliberate. As it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1, "The righteous are bold as a lion." You've become that lion, steady, poised, fearless in faith. Lions don't explain their roar. They simply remind the wilderness who they are. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer hide your light to fit into dark rooms. The power within you has outgrown apology. There was a time when you questioned your worth. You measured yourself by losses, by silence, by seasons of delay. But now you see clearly you were never losing, you were learning. The things that fell away were never meant to follow you into this level of glory. Every empty space in your life has become an altar where peace now resides. The fearless don't arise by chance. they emerge through surrender. You stopped fighting God and started walking with Him. You stopped demanding understanding and began trusting the unknown. That shift is what transformed you. You no longer chase control, you choose trust. You no longer fear change, you welcome it as divine rearrangement. The people who once misunderstood you will look again and not recognize the person standing before them. Not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally become the version heaven always saw. The fearful version died in the wilderness. The fearless one has returned, clothed in purpose. You've learned that faith isn't about knowing the outcome, it's about knowing who holds it. You can walk through uncertainty now without trembling, because you've already survived worse. The lion inside you was not born in ease, it was awakened in adversity. And now, your roar carries the sound of resilience. You no longer rush the process because you understand timing. You know that what belongs to you cannot miss you. You've stopped trying to prove your worth to those who were never meant to recognize it. The fearless don't explain destiny, they embody it. Every step you take now testifies to divine endurance. Peace has replaced panic. Wisdom has replaced worry. You no longer live as a survivor, you live as a conqueror. You've tasted the depth of struggle and found there the sweetness of strength. You carry scars not as reminders of pain but as emblems of purpose. Each one is a chapter title in your victory story. And perhaps the most powerful transformation is this: you no longer fear being seen. Once, you hid because exposure felt dangerous. Now, you understand that visibility isn't vanity, it's responsibility. The world needs to see what fearlessness looks like when it's rooted in faith. You are not shining to be admired, you are shining to lead others home. There will still be challenges ahead, but you will face them differently now. You won't crumble, you'll command. You won't question, you'll declare. The same storms that once made you tremble will now obey your words. Because when a chosen one becomes fearless, the atmosphere listens. This is your new posture, calm in the face of chaos, gentle but unshakable, humble yet powerful. You are a walking contradiction to everything darkness expected. The wilderness forged you. The fire purified you. And now the fearless have returned, crowned not by pride but by peace. You have crossed over from striving to standing, from wondering to knowing, from hiding to shining. You are no longer waiting for the light, you have become it. And wherever you go from here, the world will know that courage still walks the earth, clothed in grace. This is the moment everything comes full circle. The road has been long, winding, and wild. But now you stand on the summit, looking back not with regret, but with reverence. You can finally see what heaven was doing all along. Every tear watered the ground you're standing on. Every scar became a doorway. Every delay became direction. Destiny is no longer a distant promise. It's the ground beneath your feet. You've reached the place where prophecy meets reality. The path that once felt endless now glows with meaning. You understand now that it was never about speed, it was about strength. Heaven was never in a hurry because it was busy building depth in you. What seemed like detours were really divine designs, guiding you exactly here to fulfillment, to purpose, to peace. Destiny fulfilled doesn't look like triumph in the world's eyes. It looks like quiet confidence, steady gratitude, and unshakable faith. It looks like walking with calm authority because you no longer question who you are or why you were chosen. You've learned to trust the invisible, to rest in the unknown, and to see the divine in the ordinary. That is what it means to live in destiny realized, not striving, but abiding. Every promise heaven made has its appointed hour. And now, you are living in yours. You have crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and survived fires. And each trial has become part of your crown. You no longer carry the heaviness of uncertainty, you carry the glory of completion. The process that once tested you has now transformed you. It is written in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Those words belong to you now. They echo in your spirit like a song only heaven could compose. You fought well. You didn't quit when it was dark. You didn't give up when it was lonely. You stayed the course even when the path made no sense. And because you endured, you now stand in the light of fulfillment. You understand now that destiny was never just about reaching a destination. It was about becoming someone capable of carrying it. You had to be shaped, refined, humbled, and strengthened so that when you finally arrived, you would not crumble under the weight of glory. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was preservation. The breaking wasn't failure, it was formation. This is the beauty of divine timing. It allows you to arrive whole, not hurried. You have become a vessel fit for purpose. Heaven doesn't fill what isn't ready. And now, after all the refining, you are ready. The dreams that once terrified you now feel natural. The responsibilities that once seemed impossible now feel like breath. This is what happens when grace and growth meet. The glory revealed in your life isn't loud, it's luminous. It radiates quietly, touching everything you encounter. People will sense peace when they stand near you. They will feel something eternal in your presence because you are no longer operating from striving, but from overflow. You have become the evidence of God's faithfulness, a living testimony that His word never returns void. There's a tenderness to this moment. You can look at your past without bitterness. The wounds that once ached now shine with wisdom. The faces that once hurt you no longer haunt you. You bless them and move on. That's what destiny fulfilled looks like when love outlasts pain. You've learned that fulfillment isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's knowing that even when life isn't flawless, your faith still flourishes. You've stopped needing external proof because your peace has become its own confirmation. Heaven's yes lives within you now, steady and eternal. The crown you wear is invisible but undeniable. It's not made of gold or jewels, it's made of endurance, forgiveness, and obedience. It's the light in your eyes, the calm in your voice, the strength in your silence. The battles you fought in secret have produced a glory that shines without effort. You stand now at the threshold of continuation. For destiny doesn't end here, it evolves. Fulfillment isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. One that flows from wisdom instead of striving. You've become a guardian of light, entrusted to carry it forward for others still on their journey. The story that began with confusion now ends in clarity. The voice that once called you in whispers now speaks through you in power. The child who doubted has become the warrior who believes. The wanderer has become the witness. Chosen one. You have finished one race. But eternity has many. Each season ahead will carry new assignments, new grace, new depth. But you will walk into them differently now, not as one searching for meaning, but as one who embodies it. You are destiny fulfilled. glory revealed, and peace made visible. Stand tall, not because the world is watching, but because heaven is smiling. You have become everything you were designed to be, a reflection of divine strength, a vessel of unbreakable love, a testimony that grace wins every battle. The story is complete, and it is beautiful. And now, beloved chosen one, take a breath. Let it sink in all 17 sections. Every word that heaven intended for your heart. You've journeyed from calling to clarity, from breaking to becoming. And now you stand here, whole. What began as a whisper has become a roar of truth echoing in your spirit. You are chosen, and destiny has already begun. This is not the end of your story. It's the continuation of your awakening. Every line you've read, every moment that made your heart burn, has been heaven shaping your awareness of who you truly are. You are no longer waiting for the moment. You are the moment. Your presence on this earth is intentional, powerful, divine. You've carried the words, "Why me?" for so long. But now, you carry a new declaration, "Send me." The fear that once chained you has loosened its hold. You've seen enough light now to know that you were never walking alone. And if this message has touched something deep inside you, if it's awakened something that had been sleeping, let it live beyond this page. Like this message, not as a reaction, but as recognition. Each like is a silent amen to heaven's work within you. Share it, not because it's content, but because it's confirmation. Someone out there is standing where you once stood, searching for the sign you just received. Be that bridge for them. Comment below, write something real, something alive from your heart. It could be one sentence, a single truth you're taking with you, or a line of gratitude. Your words might be the spark that reignites someone else's faith tonight. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Stay connected to the river that keeps flowing. This isn't a one-time encounter, it's a journey, a continuation of growth, guidance, and grace. Because when chosen ones gather, heaven moves. So now, rise in peace, walk in purpose, and shine in quiet authority. Heaven is watching. The earth is waiting. And your story, your divine story, is still unfolding.